Let me ask you something that a lot of people do not want to talk about. Have you ever had to deal with a loan officer, a landlord, or even a potential employer and felt like everyone knows that you have been through bankruptcy? It feels like that one thing defines you no matter what you say or do. If you have ever felt this way, then this video is for you. The truth is that bankruptcy does not mean the end of your life. It means that the old way of handling your money did not work and now you have a chance to start over. And what comes after, if you handle it correctly, can be more stable, more intentional, and more powerful than what came before. Today, we are going to talk about everything you need to know about bankruptcy. We will cover what it does to your credit report, the difference between Chapter 7 and Chapter 13, and what you can legally dispute, what you cannot, and what most people get completely wrong about both. And then, step by step, exactly what to do the moment your discharge comes through. Then we will go step by step through what you need to do after your bankruptcy's final. What bankruptcy actually does, what it does not. A lot of people think that bankruptcy is the end of the world or as a financial death sentence. Bankruptcy is a court-supervised process designed to give people a structured exit from debt they genuinely cannot pay. It is not a punishment. It is a tool that can help you. Like any tool, it can have some bad effects. You need to understand what those effects are so you can deal with them. When you file for bankruptcy, two big things happen to your credit profile. First, the debts that you included in your bankruptcy. Credit cards, medical bills, personal loans, and others, depending on the type, are either discharged or reorganized. A discharge means the legal obligation to pay that debt is eliminated. This means that you do not have to pay them. Second, the fact that bankruptcy filing is reported to the three credit bureaus, Equifax, Experian, and TransUnion. It stays on your report for a long time. Here is where Chapter 7 and Chapter 13 differ significantly. Chapter 7 is a liquidation bankruptcy. It wipes out most unsecured debts quickly, typically within 3 to 6 months. The trade-off is that it stays on your credit report for 10 years from the date of filing. Chapter 13 is a reorganization bankruptcy. Instead of wiping the slate clean immediately, you enter a 3 to 5 year repayment plan. You pay back a portion of what you owe under court supervision. Because you made the effort to repay, Chapter 13 comes off your credit report in 7 years from the filing date. Something that a lot of people do not know is that each debt that you included in your bankruptcy has its timeline for how long it stays on your report. This means that your report can look really cluttered and damaged than the bankruptcy filing itself. The credit report. After bankruptcy, what you are actually looking at. When you look at your credit report after you have been through bankruptcy, most people feel one of two things: confusion or despair. Sometimes both. It is not one big mistake, it is a bunch of different entries. There are three kinds of negative items that you might see on your report. First, there is the bankruptcy public record itself. This is the main filing, listed under the public record section of your report. It will show the chapter, the filing date, the court, and the disposition, whether it was discharged or dismissed. Second, there are individual accounts that you included in your bankruptcy. Each creditor that was part of your filing will have their account listed, often marked as included in bankruptcy, discharged in bankruptcy, or charged off. These are separate entries from the bankruptcy record itself. The third category is the pre-bankruptcy history. Late payments, missed payments, collections, and charge-offs that led up to your filing. All of these may still appear, depending on their individual reporting windows. Now, you might be wondering what you can do to fix these things. You cannot dispute a bankruptcy that legitimately occurred. The filing is a court record. The discharge is documented. Attempting to dispute an accurate bankruptcy filing with the credit bureaus will not succeed, and you should not waste time or credibility trying. What you absolutely can, and should, dispute are inaccuracies within those entries. For example, an account listed as included in your bankruptcy that was not actually part of the filing, a balance that still shows as owed when it was discharged, a date of last activity that has been reported incorrectly, which could extend how long a negative item remains on your report, duplicate entries for the same account, accounts that should have been marked as discharged but still show an active collection status. These types of errors are more common than most people realize. When a creditor reports to the bureaus, human error happens. When data gets transferred from a collection agency back to the original creditor and then to the bureaus, information gets distorted. The Fair Credit Reporting Act gives you the right to dispute any information that is inaccurate, incomplete, or unverifiable. That right does not disappear because you filed for bankruptcy. What bankruptcy cannot erase. This section is important because there is a lot of misinformation out there, and going into your post-bankruptcy life with false assumptions will hurt you. Bankruptcy does not eliminate all debt. There are specific categories of debt that survive both Chapter 7 and Chapter 13. Student loans are generally not dischargeable in bankruptcy. There is an extremely narrow legal standard called undue hardship that some borrowers have successfully used, but it is genuinely rare and requires a separate legal proceeding. For most people, student loans will still be there after discharge. Child support and alimony are not dischargeable. These are considered domestic support obligations and are treated as priority debts by the court. Most tax debt is not dischargeable, though there are some exceptions for older income tax debt that meet specific criteria. Criminal fines, restitution, and certain civil judgments are also generally non-dischargeable. Debts obtained through fraud, such as lying on a credit application, can be challenged by creditors and excluded from discharge. Understanding what survived your bankruptcy is not discouraging. It is clarifying, because once you know exactly what you still owe and to whom, you can build a real plan instead of guessing. The immediate steps after discharge. This is the part that most people have been waiting for. Your bankruptcy is final. You are ready to move on. The first thing you need to do is get a copy of your credit reports from all three bureaus, from Equifax, Experian, and TransUnion. You can access them through annualcreditreport.com. Get all three at the same time because information varies across bureaus. What shows up on one may not appear the same way on another. Step 2 is to read every entry carefully. Go through each account. Compare it against your bankruptcy schedules, the documents from your case that list which debts were included. Look for the errors described in the previous section. Document everything. Take notes. Save copies. Step 3 is to address any inaccuracies through formal written disputes. Each bureau has a dispute process. Put everything in writing. Be specific about the error, cite the relevant section of the Fair Credit Reporting Act if applicable, and include supporting documentation. Keep records of everything you send. Step 4 is to begin rebuilding credit using tools designed for people in your exact situation. A secured credit card, where you deposit your own money as collateral, is one of the most effective starting points. Use it for small, predictable purchases like a subscription or a tank of gas. Pay the full balance every single month. This builds a consistent, positive payment history on your report. Step 5 is to look at credit builder loans. These are offered by many credit unions and community banks. The structure is simple. You make payments on the loan, and those payments are reported to the bureaus. At the end of the loan term, you receive the funds. You are essentially paying yourself while building credit history. Step 6 is to become strategic about your credit utilization. Once you have a secured card or any revolving credit, keep your balance below 30% of the available limit. Ideally, stay below 10%. Credit utilization is a significant scoring factor, and it responds quickly to responsible management. Step 7 is to avoid the traps. After bankruptcy, you will receive offers in the mail. Some will be from legitimate companies offering products designed for credit rebuilding. Many will be predatory. High-interest cards with outrageous fees, payday loan offers, buy here, pay here schemes. Read every term carefully. If an annual fee on a card exceeds what you would reasonably spend using it in a year, it is not a rebuilding tool. It is a debt trap wearing a different mask. Step 8 is to track your progress. Credit score monitoring tools are widely available, including free options. Watching your score move from month to month, even in small increments, is important not just practically but psychologically. You need to see that the work you are doing is producing results. Here is the important thing you can do right now. Pull all three of your credit reports. Right now, after this video. Do not wait for the right moment. There is no right moment. There is only the moment you decide to stop letting the uncertainty sit there. Read every entry related to your bankruptcy. Write down any account that looks inaccurate. Wrong balance, wrong date, wrong status, listed twice. Anything that does not match what you know happened. That list is the beginning of your credit dispute strategy. And if you look at that report and feel overwhelmed, or if you are not sure which accounts should have been discharged versus which ones can still be pursued, or if you have student loans and child support and tax debt on top of the bankruptcy and you genuinely do not know where to start, that is exactly when you need someone who has done this before. If you are serious about rebuilding your credit after bankruptcy, do not try to figure it out alone. There is too much at stake, and the rules around what can be disputed, what cannot, and how to approach each type of negative entry are specific enough that a wrong move can cost you time you cannot get back. You can visit wiseconsultant.com to learn more about how they work with clients who are exactly where you are right now. People who have been through bankruptcy, who feel like the system has written them off, and who are ready to do the actual work of rebuilding. Head over to wiseconsultant.com and take the first step today. Wise Consulting Enterprise. We could help you in such.